Hey there, welcome back to day 8 of your New Year's Pilates challenge. Congrats on starting again, a whole new week. 1/3 of the way done this challenge, you're doing incredible. My name is Jess, before I forget to say it. And before we get into this, if you're liking the challenge so far, please click like and subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. It helps me out so much. And thank you for showing up and doing this challenge with me. Now, today, you just need weights. I've got toning balls. If you don't have toning balls, light hand weights. 2s or 3s is best, or a can of soup, a water bottle, whatever you have. And then we're gonna start lying down on your side today. Let's turn over second side. And I like my bottom hand holding onto my head here. That way, as you go to roll back, your head still has support. Keep your hips stacked. The technical breath pattern is kind of complicated, like you're doing a different breath with every single move. But the best part is just inhaling to stay. So inhale to hold that stretch, exhale, take it back. However you gotta breathe through the rest of your motion, feel free, but that inhale to hold feels really nice. Keep your hips stacked, watch that. If they don't roll back too, that's gonna take away from most of the stretch. Just 2 more, and then we'll get into the work. Onto your back, you have your hand weights close by. Lots of wiggling to get there. And then we're gonna set up with your weights in your hands, arms reaching up to the sky. Bring your legs together on the floor. Then all I want you to do is open one arm. Bring it back up, change sides. Let's exhale to open. Inhale up. It's subtle, but I want you to feel those little tugs happening on your waist to keep you centered. Feel those obliques turning on. Then try it in tabletop. Find your imprint, lift those legs, same idea. Squeezing the legs together a little bit to open. Again, subtle work. It's not about how wide your arm goes, it's about staying centered. Let's do 1 more per side. And then just lower your feet, legs together on the floor again, arms back up. This time 1 arm goes above your head. Bring it up, change sides. Exhale to get that arm up. Yourself the space you need. And here you're paying attention to your rib cage. That's a principle I don't think I've talked about a lot in this challenge yet, but basically your rib cage moves with your spine because it's attached to your spine. And the Stop Pilates rib cage principle just says that you got to be aware of your rib cage and what it's doing, because that's going to affect what your spine does. So as your arm goes above your head, since you're trying to hold neutral, make sure your ribs don't flare. So you probably won't have your arm all the way back. Think about depressing those ribs down a little bit as that arm lifts. 1 more per side. And then we're gonna reach those legs up tabletop again. This time, let's do opposite arm and leg. Inhale up, exhale, change sides. Still keeping your ribs knitted to the mat. Being mindful of now the pull coming from above with the arm and the pull coming from below with your leg. Less is more. When I do this, I almost like to reach my stable limbs higher to the sky as I go. I can't really show you because it's subtle. It's just a feeling from within. But You're reaching your hand up, you're reaching your knee up, and I find that helps me to scoop deeper through my abs. Drawing my belly button down as I reach my hand and knee up. 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. A little break, however it feels good for you to take your break. Okay, then let's try doubles. So back up. Can you reach everything out? Pull everything in. Scooping out your belly. Your range of motion will change significantly, both in the arms and in the legs. Focus on the points of contact of your back against the mat. Watch that nothing changes. We'll finish up there with 3 more. 2. And last one. And then hug those knees. Okay. Now let's just flip over to your belly and let's do arms long by your sides. Weights are in your hands, legs are wide apart, turned out laterally, tail is rooted down. Pinch your shoulder blades together, then hover up. Inhale, stay, exhale, lower, hands lower, shoulders round forwards. Lead the way by pinching the shoulder blades together. Make sure you keep that pinch as you lift up. It's the mid-upper back that helps you get up. We did this the other day for our arm day. Same thing here. Don't worry, we won't take it nearly as heavy on the arms today as we did on that day. If you want to do this without your weights, that's perfectly fine. You will feel your triceps regardless. Remember your neck principle. Keep the neck long in line with the rest of you. And just finish up 2 more. And then take your arms straight in front of you. I can't find enough room today on my mat. I'm sure you guys can make it work though. Okay. That's gonna have to do. Now, we're gonna keep the head hovered a few inches off the floor. Keep your neck long, hover opposite arm and leg. It's okay if you're not lifting high, and totally fine if you wanna do this without your weights. This overhead range of motion is often pretty tight, so no worries if the weights are just too heavy. And no worries if you're feeling like you're barely lifting off the floor. We're using the exhale to lift to cinch up your waist, almost like your belly button goes away from the floor every time you hover. Almost like that. Make sure you've got equal weight between your hips. You're not rocking side to side, lifting too high. You're not arching through your low back. You're steady. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2. Make sure you finish evenly if you can. And then let's now go into swan. I'll give you your option first without the toning balls. Just bend your elbows by your sides, forearms about outer mat width apart, and elbows start down. Now, keep your elbows down for as long as possible as you start to lengthen up, and then maybe you can go up higher. Inhale, stay, exhale, lower down. Elbows stay down for as long as possible as you lengthen your way up. Squeezing those glutes. Now, you can definitely stick with that, and if you don't have toning balls, you're gonna have to stick with that. But if you have actual balls, you could try wrist or forearms on top, shoulder width. And then as you start to come in, you shrug shoulders away from the ears and you lengthen yourself up, rolling onto the toning balls, and then roll them away. You can also do this with your mini stability ball, whatever works. I know most people don't have toning balls, and no worries if you don't. And just as high as feels good. No need to force your range. Just by doing this through your Pilates practice on the regular, your range will improve. You don't need to jam yourself up. Now, not only are your shoulders working to stay away from the ears, your back extensors are working to get you up, and the glutes are working to take you into that hip extension, but your core is too. You're not just sinking down through the low back, you're pulling your belly button away from the floor. Even though you're going into a back extension, your core is still able to turn on a little bit to give you that support from underneath. Let's just go for 2 more. And then take a shell stretch. Maybe swaying side to side. Okay, then we'll go on to hands and knees with your weights. We'll just need one at least to start, and if you have toning balls, grab the squishier one. There's often one that's not so squishy, so grab your squishy one and put it on your low back. That works with your hand weight too. Just put it horizontal across your back. Spread your fingers wide. And you do need to make sure you have a good lordosis here. So your back has to be arched, not overly arched, but a decent neutral curvature. Tighten your waist once you have that. Spread the shoulders, push away from the floor. And then start by just opening one arm to the side. Put it down, change sides. Exhale, open. Inhale, close. Now, just by having that weight there, you'll notice how much your body wants to shift side to side, and you'll notice what muscles have to work so that you don't shift side to side. This is the cue us Pilates instructors say a lot about having your favorite drink on your tailbone and not spilling a drop. This is that, putting it to practice. I do not suggest putting it to real life practice. I have tried that once with wine. It did not go so well. Luckily, it was white wine. I was smart enough to do that. But that's what happens when you have Pilates instructor friends and you hang out and you drink wine. You're like, let's add it to our Pilates. It did spill. If you are gonna try it, stemless glass. I think I would have been okay if it was stemless, but it was not. Okay, now arms are steady, reach one leg and alternate the legs there. And you'll notice not only are your obliques working to help you stay centered, but there is a weight transfer that happens. You have to have more weight between your stable knee and the opposite hand, right? That other hand naturally goes a little soft. You can't keep equal weight between your hands. You keep equal weight through the center of your body, but not distributed equally between all 3 of those limbs on the floor. And then you should be able to somewhat easily reach that opposite arm forwards with that leg, because most of your weight is distributed equally between opposite hand and knee anyways. Now that's going to be easier to do if you reach your leg first, then add in your arm. And if you're getting frustrated because your ball or your weight is not staying on your back, it's okay. Just do it without. Again, it depends on the structure of your spine, and if your back doesn't like that kind of arch position, it's not going to stay, and that's okay. Just work without it. Imagine like you have your favorite drink on your tail, but maybe you know that you're not someone who should try that with an actual drink on your tailbone. Notice how much oblique work, core work is happening here. Ideally, this is how much your core should be working during 4-point kneeling anytime. Last one here.
And then let's reach your left leg long and hold it long. Open it out, close it back across. So little wag side to side. Both shoulders are wide from the ears. Inner creases of your elbows point forwards. And again, you have most of your weight distributed equally between your right knee and your left hand. Small little wags to keep that weight stable. Let's just go for 3, 2, 1. Change sides. Almost done with this 4-point stuff. Open and close. You have to really isolate this so you're only opening to what your hip can open to, not any further where your back is bending. Let's go for another 3, 2, 2.5. One more bonus one. Awesome. Okay, one more thing on hands and knees, just one. Tuck your toes. We've got knee hovers, like we did the other day with the ball between the knees. Hover and lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, stay. Exhale, lower. What wants to happen here is your back wants to round as you brace your core. The front of your core, your superficial six-pack ab muscles, they want to turn on to help, which is great, but we need to find most of the work coming from the deepest layer of your core, your transversus abdominis. And then you get that sinking in corset-like feeling, like you have plastic wrap tightening up around your waist. And that way nothing changes through your spine, but you're still getting deep into your core muscles. Try just 3. If your wrists are tired, take off that weight and just go down to your elbows, that's fine. We're gonna add on one more thing, because why not? Hold your knees hovered, step one leg out, step your second leg out, you're in your full plank. Step your first knee in, second knee in, keep going. Out, out, full plank, in, 4-point kneeling. Out, out, in. 3, 2, 1, hold your plank. And then, can you do crouching tiger? Bend your knees, shift back away from your hands, and then shift forwards. I think we might have done this already earlier on last week, but with no weight. Oh my gosh, it changes things with that weight. You have to keep your knees low to the floor as you shift back. You gotta keep your spine parallel to the floor. Try 3, 2, try one more, you've got this. And then no more, take that toning ball off. Shell stretch. One more big breath. Okay. Shake that out. And then let's go into some side work. And let's do it today. Using your mat first. Let's do it today with your weight behind your top knee pit, the official term. You're gonna shove it behind that knee. Setting up for clamshells, we've got feet together, knees bent, knees are forwards of the body. Open and close your knee. And I'm actually gonna do this today with feet up in the air. I feel like that feels better to hold on to that toning ball. Hips stay stacked steady. Maybe you've got your top hand on it. You could stay down here, but if you want a little more, maybe you're up on your elbow. Watching that you're not sinking though. Lift up and away. You probably won't feel like you can lift as high, but that's okay. Shoulders away from that ear. Two more. Relax for a second. Now, bottom leg will just stay down out of the equation. Lift your whole top leg. Lift it as one unit, up and down. Your shin stays parallel to the floor. It's not gonna be a big motion. You're trying to avoid your hip hiking. So if you're on your elbow, you'll know if the hip hikes because you'll slump. Keep up and away from that floor. And you'll feel like you can get up higher if you are down lower. Whatever works for you. Let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, hold it up, flex your ankle, pulse it back, like you're driving your foot into the wall behind you, keeping the front of your ribs closed. How far back can you bring your knee? Forced into getting some extra hamstring work by holding on to that weight. Just for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Grab that weight, lower down. I got one more thing before we change sides. Line your body up in one straight line at the front edge of your mat. Your bottom arm is long, it's kind of forwards of your body a little bit. Then, maybe you hold on to your weight, maybe you don't, up to you. That arm goes above your head. Topsy-turvy, I call this. You're going to reach your hand to your feet as you reach up into kind of a teaser position and then open yourself back to your side. It's called topsy-turvy for a reason. You can do that with knees bending instead, then opening up, but you do want to try to roll right onto your tailbone, bringing your chest towards your knees, and then back right onto your side. My bottom hand just drags with me as I go. It's not doing a whole lot. It's keeping me balanced though. Harder with straight legs. Controlling it to the best of your ability. And if that's not feeling good, maybe you just kind of make it small, not coming up very high. Whatever works, okay? Try 3, 2. You gotta swing your arm and swing it forward to unravel. We have another side to practice on, so let's flip over. Shove that weight behind your knee pit. Either all the way down or onto your elbow. I started on my elbow, so I'll stay there. Classic clams. Set up your shoulder, lift your waist. Maybe feet are up, maybe they're down. Open and close that knee. Focusing on avoiding the hip rolling back. We have 3, 2, 2.5, bonus one, and last one. Readjust that weight, and then leg goes up and down as 1 unit. I'm gonna go back down because that's where I was before. Reaching out of your hip. For this one, it's not so much that the hip wants to roll back, it's more so that it wants to hike towards your shoulder and squish your mouse. So reach long out of your top waist, long out of your hip, and keep that mouse hole space present underneath you. Speaking of staying present, have you noticed that difference with Pilates? It's not the exact same as yoga where you're tuning in, you're trying to settle your mind and quiet your mind. The Pilates kind of meditation is the fact that I'm giving you so much to think about that you're not thinking about anything else besides Pilates. You're totally present on your practice, on your mat. So I feel like Pilates is really good for busy brains. Only a couple more. Last one, hold it up, flex that ankle, pulse it back. Driving your foot behind you. How far can you press without arching your back? Trying to open through the front of your hip. Squeezing the back of your glute.
It's almost over. We have 3, 2, and 1. And then topsy-turvy. Line your body up, straight line, front edge of your mat. Bottom arms long on that diagonal. And then the bottom arm sweeps forwards in that motion, right? And so does the top. The top arm also sweeps forwards to get you up, to get everything reaching to your feet. So let's give that a go. Exhale, roll back, lift your chest, reach to the feet, and then roll open. Reach your arm forwards to get yourself open. Okay, that forwards reach is important. You swing the arm off to the side, you open your feet, and you open your hips. It's okay if it's still a struggle. It's a weird one. It's not that typical Pilates organization where you've got this stable here, that stable there. It's more of a fluid motion. So it's okay if it's harder to get. Again, you can bend your knees. You could even just do the side bend that we've been working with on some of the days so far. Only for 2. And 1. And then just rest. Good job. Let's take that into your pretzel stretch. I've got my bottom right thigh on the floor, left foot on the floor next to that knee. I'm hugging my left knee and I'm twisting towards it. So whatever leg you have, twist towards the leg that you're hugging. Grow tall, hug tight. I like to use that as my life motto. If only I could grow taller. One more big breath. Change sides. Get the hip down. One more breath. And that's it for day 8 of your challenge. Congrats on starting again for a brand new week. Day 8 is pretty good. We're like, what, a third of the way through? That's really good. How do you feel? How did all that stability work feel for you? Did you feel kind of centered? Were you more wobbly on one side or the other? Let me know. We are going to be taking it into more specific balance work later on this week, so I wanted to prepare your body with that. So again, let me know in the comments how you felt with that. Give this video a big like and then subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks you guys so much for supporting me and my channel and this challenge. I hope you're feeling wonderful, a full weekend, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.